I finally got the rarest magic core for you. You've worked hard. No!
After rebirth, I abandoned the mighty phoenix as my magical pet, instead chose an almost dead little black snake. In my past life, I searched everywhere for rare materials for the phoenix, pouring all of resources into helping him grow. Yet, he hooked up with my sister. In the end, to make their ridiculous love story go smoothly, they conspired to murder me. This time, I want to see how far this perfect couple can go without me as their stepping stone. The same contract ceremony, the same focus. Without a doubt, it was still that golden phoenix. Even with a suppression collar on, he still held his head high, as if the rest of us were far beneath him.
Just then, my sister Evelyn walked in, holding a weak little black snake in her hands. Tears streamed down her cheeks. My sister was always so weak. The phoenix instantly fell for her pitiful act. This made me like the villain who—
Spiritual power is not strong enough. Even if the phoenix is drawn to you now, you cannot control him.
Lila, I know I have no right to compete with you. It is just— I have never seen a golden phoenix.
I had absolutely no patience for her performance. I reached out and took the weak black snake from her hands, offering a slight smile to the ritual elder.
I actually quite like this one. The phoenix clearly does not want me, so why not let him go with her? I want this snake.
You are the strongest student here. This black snake has mixed blood. It is basically a useless waste.
But I knew the truth about that phoenix. He was never some precious treasure. In my past life, the exact same scene played out. The phoenix ignored me. I felt the pain of rejection for the very first time. He was so hard to get, and I became completely obsessed. As the disciple of the Grand Maida, I was supposed to be a role model for the others. I told myself that I absolutely had to tame this phoenix to strengthen the power of our Spirit Contract Academy. Creatures of powerful bloodlines are always proud. Surely, one day, he would understand everything I did for him. One day, we would fight side by side, and I would no longer have to face those rampaging beasts alone. Until one day, I saw him deeply kissing my sister. She was smiling, dancing happily by his side.
Lila, you really should tell Evelyn to stop taking care of the phoenix for you, while you are away on missions.
When did I ever ask her to take care of him?
She says that every single time you leave.
I felt the world spinning around me. I was out there risking my life in battle, while she was behind my back, hooking up with my phoenix.
Does she not have her own contract beast?
That little black snake died in its second year.
And then, I understood. I had spent 10 years setting the stage for someone else. I am not some gentle, forgiving female lead.
I targeted Evelyn. This enraged the phoenix.
As punishment, he used a false excuse to lure me into the back mountain forest. And then, he broke the barrier sealing the wild beasts. The beasts, trapped side, began to pouring out in a frenzy. Among those beasts, there was one that had gone completely mad. Leviathan. The phoenix and my sister joined forces and pushed me off the cliff. In the end, I died in the beast stampede, while all I could do was watch Evelyn snuggle by his side. So this time, I will never let myself become anyone's sacrifice. I just want to see what this couple does next. Once a contract priest is bound to a human, they must obey that person's commands. If they harm their contract partner, the contract priest will also be punished. The energy of the contract ritual agitated the little black snake. He wrapped himself around my arm with all his strength. Evelyn got the phoenix and was clearly extremely excited.
You and that snake really make a perfect match, Lila.
She looks so smug. Could she have been reborn as well?
Watch your words, Evelyn. If Lila had not stepped in for you, you would never have gotten the phoenix. If I were you, I would get down on my knees and thank her.
Anxiety will not help her. Evelyn has almost no power at this stage. I am going to watch them from grace. Back home, I finally got a good look at the snake. He was tiny, couldn't have been more than a few decades old, barely past the threshold of maturity. But he was strange, different from the serpents I knew.
Water serpents had snake-like tails. This one had a tail more like a fish with a fin.
Mixed bloodline, serpent, and something older. Sea folk, maybe?
I had a natural spring in the courtyard. The moment he hit the water, he came alive, diving and surfacing, pulling in energy from the current. Relax. I fed a golden phoenix for 10 years. I think I can manage one little snake. He froze and stared at me with those tiny green eyes. Then he spitted water at my face. I flicked him on the head. Heal up. You're not going anywhere. The next morning, I woke up wrong. I turned my head and found a face 3 inches from mine. I abandoned the mighty phoenix as my magical pet. Dark lashes, warm skin, the kind of face that belonged in a painting. Long lashes that trembled slightly, objectively gorgeous, didn't stop me from nearly jumping out of my skin. He'd gotten into bed without waking me. Whoever this was, his power was well above mine. He stirred, opened gold-slit eyes, and looked at me.
Who are you? This is Spirit Pact Academy grounds. Don't try anything.
He sat up, fitted robe with a subtle pattern. He was tall. He'd had to curl up to fit in my bed. Under those long lashes were a pair of gold vertical pupil eyes.
Snake?
Rude. I have a name. It's Kieran.
Kieran, it turned out, had been fleeing an enemy when he crossed paths with my tutor. He'd taken the form of a small, injured serpent. My tutor, true to form, had taken him in. Kieran clearly hadn't been injured because he was weak. He sat up, fitted robe with a subtle pattern. He was tall. He'd had to curl up to fit in my bed. Under those long lashes were a pair of gold vertical pupil eyes.
Snake?
Rude. I have a name. It's Kieran.
Kieran, it turned out, had been fleeing an enemy when he crossed paths with my tutor. He'd taken the form of a small, injured serpent. My tutor, true to form, had taken him in. Kieran clearly hadn't been injured because he was weak. Please tell me your enemies aren't about to show up here.
We're bonded now. You're the master. I'm your mate. So I suggest you train hard and try not to slow me down.
He taught me a breathing and absorption technique developed for serpent-kind. Most days I sat in the spring practicing while Kieran sprawled in the tree above me, watching with half-closed eyes. The breeze moved his hair and caught the light on his skin. Evelyn appeared at my gate, peering in. I sighed and got out of the spring. Kevin dropped from the tree and raped a dry robe over my shoulders.
Who is this?
You remember him, the little black snake from the bonding ceremony. You said yourself we seem meant for each other. What do you want? This is training time.
I was hoping we could raise the phoenix together.
Kieran's hand tightened on mine. I glanced at him. He was clearly unhappy.
I'm not your backup plan. Figure it out yourself.
How is it not your responsibility? You took the black snake and left me with the phoenix! You don't get to just walk away. Half a year's gone by and I've given him every elixir I had. There's nothing left for my own training and I was in the lower ranks. I can't go hunting rare ingredients. I'd die out there. You bonded with the phoenix first. You should be helping.
I cut her off my sentence, sent a gust of air to push her back through the gate, and led Kyan inside. Little sister, don't mistake everyone for a fool. I'm not spending my resources raising your creature for you. If you can't afford to keep him, dissolve the bond. Let someone else take him. I'm sure the elders would be happy to. She wouldn't do that. Her ambitions were too big. Weeks passed. I broke through to a new level of power, what those in the Spirit Pact Academy called Fourth Circle Stage. At the same time, the Archmaster aimed for me to escort a rare spirit fox to the Spirit Pack Academy along with Elder Celia. I abandoned the mighty phoenix as my magical pet, who was about 3 centuries older than me, and acted like a kid half the time. I sweet-talked her through the handover to the creature registry, and she settled for it. Before she left, "Your little serpent is very clingy, you know?" I didn't understand. until I started up mountain path and saw a silhouette leaning against a tree in the distance. Kieran? He didn't move. When I got closer, he reached out and grabbed the back of my neck.
Lara, am I not good to you? Why are you trying to give me away?
What are you talking about?
That girl came to the courtyard today saying you sent her to check on me. Have you changed your mind about our contract? Do you want to dump me now that you've reached tier 4?
Evelyn again. Same tricks, different life. Before I explain, Kralen's pupils contract into thin slits. He lowers his head, pressing his face against my neck. His tongue touches the skin there, light and quick. I shiver violently.
There is the scent of a fox. Lyra, have you already found a replacement for yourself? It doesn't matter. Once I eat that fox, I will be your only choice.
You hit me because of her?
That fox belongs to my great mentor. You dare touch her, and I will ruin you. Kieran stopped fighting me, allowing himself to be dragged along. Most students weren't training at the time, so the residential area was very quiet. When they saw me coming, a few people raised their eyebrows.
Hello?
After brief greetings, they told me that Evelyn had gone to the back mountain forest. I frowned. I had clearly stopped blocking the Phoenix path. Why did they sneak into the forest? We found them arguing. Or more precisely, Evelyn was arguing. And the Phoenix, which had not yet turned into human form, was scratching words on the ground with its claws. Don't look at me like that! I did nothing wrong! I didn't force you to come to Spiritual Conrad Academy. You said this plea could help you train. I have gated you all my elixirs, and you are still not satisfied. You want me to find rare training! You are sending me to my death! Phyla bandinged Phoenix to my opponent, Evmorlegal. In my past life, he gave me absolutely nothing for 10 whole years. Not a single look, not a word, not a single movement. Evelyn, I have been looking for you. Do you need something, Lila? I didn't come for anything special. Just wanted to know why you visited my partner. No, you misunderstand. I was just about to go look for you.
She lied to me. She said you stole me from her, and that I was supposed to belong to her.
And what did you do?
Trespassed into your territory without permission. She is too weak. I didn't even use my power, just pushed her away until she left.
Well done. If I remember correctly, you didn't even want Kieran at first. He was heavily injured. If he had followed you, he probably wouldn't have survived the 2nd year. That's not true! I would have taken care of him! You are driving a wedge between me and the Phoenix! I walk up and place my hand on her shoulder, not gently. You played your game, dear sister. Don't be surprised when I play mine. The next time you pull a stunt like this, you will receive my punishment. The council would not forgive actions targeted at another member's contracted beast. She dared not take the risk. On the way back, I was in a great mood. But Kieran was very quiet. Even when I asked, he refused to transform and carry me.
You seem very familiar with that Phoenix.
I have nothing to hide. We have a past. It ended very badly for me. Do you want to hear it?
No. I am better than that bird in every way. You cannot go back to him.
I won't have any other partner, I promise.
Lila, your growth rate is too slow. Sharing energy with you is simply a torture.
My great mentor says I am one of the most talented young members of this generation. All the rare Talian elixirs I found I used on myself, instead of being given to the Phoenix. 10 years passed. I steadily rose from tier will 4 to tier 6. You are indeed a genius, Lila. We thought the Phoenix would elevate the status of the entire Spiritual Contract Academy. But 10 years have passed, and there is still no sign of his breakthrough. I expected this. Maintaining a contracted beast requires immense resources, and the Spiritual Contract Academy never had reserves. The Phoenix cannot break through, and in my bastard life, and form Herod the past of miles in Sursan Burkle, I saw firsthand what happens when his patience runs out. I once thought of getting rid of him. Whenever I tried to bring it up to the great mentor or Kieran, those words were like hitting a wall. And acting unilaterally, killing the phoenix before anyone understood why. Would have destroyed the Spirit Pact Academy from the inside. All I could do was watch him and contain him. Past that, I had no choice but to wait. My past life hadn't survived this year. I didn't know if this one would go differently. The sun shines over a quiet green lawn and ancient buildings of a manor. The giant golden phoenix stands near a metal gate, staring closely at a hot spring pool. He stood there staring at Kieran. Kieran floats lazily in the steaming spring, bare-chested near marble statues and waterfalls, who was lazily floating in the spring in human form, making absolutely no effort to be welcoming. You have a bonded partner. Why are you at my gate?
Right. What possible reason could you have for neglecting your own bonded partner to come stand outside someone else's house?
Kian climbed out completely soaked and immediately tried to lean against me.
I don't worry you're near. I'll have to notice. I just want that bird to know there's no space for him here.
What exactly is here between us?
That's entirely your call.
The phoenix flew away. Kieran grabbed my face with both hands.
He left. Can you stop worrying about him for 5 minutes?
I have to know what he's doing. I said that bird has a dark heart. I don't trust him idle.
He regrets it. Doesn't want to stay with your little sister anymore.
I turned toward the gate empty, but something in my gut told me the phoenix was off. There was no logical reason for him to come to me specifically. Unless the phoenix had also been reborn. If that was true, then he knew about the back forest. He knew what was sealed there. He knew my parents had died there, which I'd only ever told him directly in my previous life. I didn't stop to explain to Kylan. I pulled out a slip and went straight to the forest wards. The wards were intact. Then I turned around and my stomach dropped. A handful of golden feathers lay near the edge of the barrier line. He'd been here. The phoenix had come back with knowledge he shouldn't have. The friction between Evelyn and the phoenix had gone public. He'd refused her commands in training sessions, ignored her in front of others, made her look incompetent in front of the whole yard more than once in recent weeks. The reason I kept getting dragged in was simpler and more aggravating. Every time I appeared, the phoenix drifted toward me. If looks could kill, Evelyn would have had me buried weeks ago. Elder Celia found the whole thing delightful. Her bird appeared at my shoulder one afternoon.
You know what this reminds me of? One of those stories where the man realizes too late what he had. He freezes her out at the start and spends the rest of the book chasing her. Oh dear, I could talk to the girl, offer a different creature, something she could actually manage, and transfer the phoenix over to you, quietly.
No. I'm not going near the disciplinary council over this. Besides, I have Keelan. That's enough. Celia looked genuinely mournful. Then she shifted to her real point. A creature pulling against its bonded partner is a problem for everyone, and Evelyn hasn't advanced past the first stage in 10 years. The elders have discussed sending her out on a field assignment, a year or two away from the Spirit Pact Academy, practical experience away from all of this. I understood what she wasn't saying. They'd given up on the Phoenix as a resource for the Spirit Pact Academy. In the council hall, Evelyn made the whole thing into a production. She cried. She accused me of engineering her removal to take the phoenix in front of all the senior elders. She made her counter offer.
If Senior wants the phoenix, she just say so. I won't stand in the way. But if she takes him, she gives me Kiran. A mixed lineage serpent for a pureblood phoenix? Honestly, Lyra comes out ahead.
Which one now, Evelyn? You focus on your phoenix and stop coming up with terrible ideas.
While the elders dealt with Evelyn, I was at the creature registry with a head keeper investigating a disappearance. 3 had vanished overnight. 2 small rabbits and a unicorn.
I reinforced the gate myself before I left. Any disturbance at all and I would have felt it. There was nothing. Not a sound.
He won't eat you.
That pulled something loose in my mind. I hesitated, Keeper.
Do creatures ever turn on each other?
What a horrifying thing to say. They have awareness. They would never—
I cannot let you go in. It is forbidden by rule.
People do terrible things to each other. Creatures aren't different.
Kieran slipped an arm around me and spoke low into my ear.
I've heard of a practice. A dark techniques used by creatures who want to advance without resources.
My skin had gone cold. Wild creatures had no access to elixirs or rare materials.
If they wanted to grow in power fast, the most efficient shortcut was this: consume the core of another creature. The higher the level of the creature they took from, the faster the gain.
Kieran had nearly died at the hands of one practicing exactly that method.
Once it works, it will come back for more.
We staked out the registry that night. Nothing happened, quiet all the way until dawn. I reassured the keeper and headed out. Keelan shifted, wrapped around me and moved. When we landed, I didn't need to go inside to know it was bad. I could hear the crying from the courtyard. It was one of my newest students, a girl who'd come to the Spirit Pact Academy with her own creature. Fox, soft and round and always sprawled in patches of sunlight. Kind of creature that made people smile just looking at it. She was sitting on the ground, holding what remained of her. Not much left.
Your guess was right. The core was removed. One strike, clean. It happened before she could make a sound. She only noticed when she felt the bond break.
I felt the cold settle in my chest. Without thinking, I looked round for the phoenix. He was standing beside Evelyn, still as a statue.
I finally got the rarest magic core for you.
Don't look. It's him.
You're certain? I went to the Archmaster.
Don't move yet. You need proof. Catch him in the act.
He said it with total gravity. Meanwhile, behind him, his courtyard had become a small zoo. Several of them had taken human form and were crowding around Kieran to ask about his parents' bloodlines.
I keep all my creatures close.
Your new firehound relieved himself on the floor.
You could clean it up for your teacher.
Absolutely not. The senior elders started watching the phoenix. Their eyes went to him more carefully during training. They noted that his power had grown noticeably in ways that weren't explained by his circumstance. I abandoned the mighty phoenix as my magical pet. Then, nothing. Weeks passed. No more disappearances, no incidents. Sunlight shines on the castle perched on the cliff as students walk through the corridors. 2 weeks went by. The girl never quite recovered from losing her fox. The other students spoke the appearances less and less, until the whole drifted into the category of strange spirit-packed academy legend, something that happened maybe, possibly. Nobody quite remembered the details. But I couldn't let it go. Kieran's certainty sat with me every day. I went to the Archmaster and asked to have the phoenix formally restricted.
You think we don't see it? But without evidence, what do I tell the students? If I punish someone without proof, I lose the trust of the whole Spirit-Pact Academy, and without that trust, the Spirit-Pact Academy dissolves.
Then one night, while I was deep in meditation, something flashed my window. A pair of red eyes, bright, gone in an instant. Where was Kylan? I moved to the water's edge, floating on the surface, a single golden feather, an invitation or a taunt. Find me, and I'll give him back. I reached out through the bond and found Kieran's location, the back forest. I arrived through the wards in a flash of light and walked straight into a shockwave from two powers colliding. Kieran and the Phoenix were already fighting, fully committed. I went rigid. When had the Phoenix broken through? He moved through the trees in a golden coat, fast and precise, ducking and redirecting Kieran's strikes. With the ease of someone who'd had longer to prepare for this moment, Evelyn sat perfectly still, like a doll that someone had set down and forgotten. When I got close enough to see her clearly, my stomach turned over. Evelyn was dead. Her eyes were still open, fixed in an expression of complete disbelief. Her abdomen had been cut open. Her core, the source of her power, the root she'd spent years building, was gone. I hadn't even had time to process it before the sky above the forest went dark. Clouds banking hard and fast, thunder starting low and rolling, the bond clause. Harm your bonded partner, and the consequence comes down from the sky itself.
I didn't bother playing it soft. You spent 10 years plotting with Evelyn against the Spirit Pact Academy. You used every person here as a platform. And this life you had the chance to change, and instead you gutted her core. The god is watching. Today it ends.
The Phoenix smiled, cold and strange. His hands were already moving behind his back, breaking the ward seal. The creatures locked in the forest felt the loosening. The ground shook. Thunder gathered directly above him.
Lyra! Hold the creatures back! I'll work on resealing from out here!
Lightning above. The forest breaking open below. The Phoenix stood in the middle of it all with a look of pure madness, and he turned it on me.
Lyra, you can't stop this. Come die with me. I'll do better by you this time, I swear it.
In my past life, I had died in this exact forest, in this exact way, with no one at my back.
I know I have no right to compete with you. It's just I've never seen a golden...
I felt fear. That was honest. Old fear, the kind that lived in the body. Then a hand landed on my shoulder. Kieran. Eyes lit with the cold fire of someone who had never once considered losing. Right. I had Kieran. This time I wasn't fighting alone.
You want to take her down with you? Ask me first, you're nobody.
He laughed once, short and sharp. Kieran pressed forward and I covered him. He trusted me at his back without checking. I trusted him to end what he started. Kieran wasn't breaking and the Phoenix couldn't find a way past him. Then he understood I wasn't going to die here. The plan had failed. He broke.
This isn't right. You're supposed to die. We're supposed to die together.
The lightning came down in a column as wide as a well. The phoenix didn't scream, no rebirth for those taken by judgment, final and total.